All right, now let's talk about a guy that I think brings a lot of big playability to the Steelers offense and was a great draft pick for them. Najee Harris is going to, give you a lot of effort, a lot of 4, 5, 6 yard runs. He'll get the ball in his hands in the pass game some and contribute there as well. Kenny Pickett's going to make a lot of good decisions, get the ball to the right player, spread the ball horizontally, and also spread the ball to multiple guys. But George Pickens is a guy that can change the game probably with one snap. He he looks like he's open even when he's not open. And again, I only have film. I generally only have film from the most recent 4 games, but I also have some from earlier in the season for Pickens, and a lot of highlight catches. I mean, for real, a lot of highlight catches, and what you'll notice is that a lot of them are within 4 or 5 yards of the sideline because of his height and because of who's playing out there. Generally at corner, he's got some physical advantages there, and Kenny Pickett really trusts him. I mean, you can see when the ball is thrown certain times. I don't think this one actually is a touchdown. I would suspect this one was called back. I don't pretend to know, to be honest with you. It looks to me like probably was not a touchdown, but he may get 2 feet in. But in any case, unbelievable catch. I mean, fantastic catch, turning back. Looks like he does get 2 feet down, maybe before that hand hits out of bounds. But this is a guy that could cause the Ravens problems, particularly when they put him in the slot. It's going to be a real interesting matchup over there on the right side, which is generally where he lines up between him and Marcus Peters. There's the catch. Left foot down. Maybe they tap the right foot down before the hand hit. So maybe it was a touchdown. I don't pretend to know. I just know it was a hell of a play. Him versus Marcus Peters on the outside, on the right, could be an issue for the Ravens. Him in the slot, I wonder how the Ravens are going to cover it. They might have to move Marlon Humphrey in there when that happens, and that could create issues somewhere else. Makes catches along the sideline against everybody. Maybe not against everybody, but against a lot of teams. And I've mentioned it in the Kenny Pickett section. Yeah, does he occasionally get off with a little bit of a push-off? I don't think it can be called a push-off, though. He's not really extending his arms. He's just putting his hands on the corner to kind of try to use him and guide him away from and create just a little bit of space. I mean, I think it's a hell of a play. It's a smart play, a veteran play. Sometimes he's not open, but he's still open, like I said here. We all saw this catch on the highlights. Kenny Pickett is throwing the ball. I mentioned this in the Kenny Pickett section. Kenny Pickett's throwing the football early, just like Joe Burrow does to Jamar Chase. It's a similar situation in terms of these plays. If you play man or you play cover 3, he can go over there, and George Pickens can make these catches. I'm not saying that, he's going to be a who he does beat for a catch here on an in-breaking route. Up top, we'll slow it down. It's a long ride on this RPO by, I think, Trubisky early in the season. Gardner snapping to play man in the last second, being physical as usual, and it doesn't bother Pickens. Big target. I think he likes the contact. Seems like it anyway. I think he kind of prefers the contact on these long throws downfield. I love this route. He had Elam, all kinds of thinking that this was going to be a vertical, and it certainly looks like it all through here. And then at the last second here, he's bringing this back down, coming back to the sticks. Great route, great throw. Again, I think they trust him. They trust him to be in the right spot, and they have a connection there together. It looks like they've been throwing the ball to each other for years, or throwing the ball and catching it for years. Short route, trying to break a tackle and get in the end zone. Great hands, great catch radius. Don't need it really on this play. Pickett trusts him. Pickett's dealing with pressure a lot of times back there. Like I said, in the last 4 games, 11 sacks allowed. So I think there's times when it's man and he's got to get rid of the ball quick. George Pickens is his guy. Third down, he really likes Freiermuth. From what I've seen, Pickens can be that guy too. I'm going to show you this one and then one more. I know that most people already understand the type of talent that Pickens has. The thing that I like about this play is he doesn't just stop playing because he's right next to the sideline and there's 2 or 3 defenders there. A lot of guys would stop playing and maybe get out of bounds, maybe live to fight another day. Nope. He's going to keep fighting and make contact and be physical. Said this earlier as well. I love how Kenny Pickett uses the whole width of the field. You can see there's a ride here, and he's going to look in this direction initially. Doesn't go over there for whatever reason. comes back to George Pickens on the other side of the field. A little bit of a weak throw, obviously, but he uses the width of the field in the progressions. And not every quarterback does that. I don't know that he does it every play, but he does it often enough for me to notice it. This one is awesome. The little move that he puts on the safety first, the catch, and then getting yards. But let's also take a look at, let's look at the move one more time. The little shake he gives the safety so the safety can be wrong. And you can see the safety had no chance. Ball's already there. Nobody has a chance. Throwing it over the second level guys in front of the safeties. One thing I want to point out. Watch when Kenny Pickett throws this football. He's just now starting his little shimmy on the safety. Kenny Pickens already loading up. He's released the ball just as he's finishing his moves. They trust each other. They're in line. They're coordinated. I think he could be the difference in the game for real against the Ravens, because the Ravens could play great defense for 3.5 quarters like you've seen, and it seems like George Pickens is a guy that can make one play. In the slot, he's going to be a handful. I don't know how. I think this is Michael Carter II for the Jets. Who would the Ravens have on him here? I would suspect on this third down it'd be Marlon Humphrey. But then we got issues with other guys. So I don't know exactly how the Ravens match up on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 when they put Pickens in the slot. And then you've got Freiermuth at tight end. I think there's some matchup problems that the Ravens might have against this Steelers team. Potential matchup problems, because Freiermuth and Pickens both have such a catch radius, and they're both so tough once they do get the ball in their hands. This was the first one I showed you. Let me know what you think of the 3 players I've previewed for the Steelers offense. There's some missing elements. It's not a complete preview, obviously. I ran out of time this week. I was sick for a couple of days, so lost some of my prep time. But these guys I thought was the ones that I wanted to focus on. And we let the graphics Yoda create a really cool graphic for it. I think it's going to be a tough game, reminiscent of most every Steelers-Ravens matchup. I can't wait to watch it. Me personally, I respect the Steelers a whole lot more than I know a lot of Ravens and Steelers fans have for each other's franchises, because I see so many similarities.